Sometimes you find mystery in a game that makes you think, time to ride, which is why today's video is brought to you by Asphalt Legends Unite. I've been a fan of the Asphalt series for over a decade, back when it was just a great racing game on my iPad. Asphalt Unite takes things to the next level for a next-gen experience, releasing earlier this week on PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox, PC, iOS, Android, and is already Steam Deck verified and soon available on Nintendo Switch. The game is action-packed with smooth visuals and gameplay of over 250 hypercars to unlock, alongside exciting courses like a new Singapore track and a new multiplayer co-op mode that will allow you to play with your friends no matter what platform you're on due to its true crossplay system. Here's my player ID if you think you can take me. Asphalt Legends Unite just launched and there are a ton of special awards, and best of all, it's free, so download now by scanning the QR code or clicking on the links down below. Friday Night Funkin'. Thanks to Spark the Dragon for submitting this mystery on the Oddheader Discord, and vitalpea for additional research. Friday Night Funkin' is the popular online rhythm game that exploded when it was uploaded in 2020, with a full version on Android and iOS on the way following a massively successful Kickstarter. The game's also open source, so players can freely use the source code to create whatever modifications they want. However, inside the source code is an audio file that doesn't seem to fit the rest of the music in the game. The audio file is called C_Z MP3 and is described on GitHub as funny music smiley face. The audio file is an unpleasant mix of beeping noises reminiscent of dial-up internet. Not much of a song. Turns out this noise is actually an SSTV slow scan television transmission, a method of transmitting images over radio frequencies. When the SSTV is decoded, we receive what appears to be the image of a written note. Deciphering as much as possible of the message, it appears to say, social media was poetic or poor expression. People who would not have access to certain forms of expression or conundrum. Networks of networks. Internet in this world was also developed by military. I think in other it's also military based, maybe this form of internet. Maybe instead of web, it could be called a tree. I think nostalgia happens at a much faster pace because culture is accelerating so fast. Okay then. It's still unknown why there's hidden SSTV audio in the files of Friday Night Funkin', and why it leads to a message that sounds like a draft for someone's next poetry slam. Though given how little this message makes sense, I'm not hopeful we're ever going to get a clear answer. Pray. Thanks to Kevin O'Leary, Creamy Bacon 1, and WaiseHell for submitting this mystery on the Oddheader website and Discord. Prey released in 2006 for Windows, Xbox, and Mac, not to be confused with the 2017 game from Bethesda. In the game, players take on the role of Cherokee protagonist Tommy, who is abducted by aliens along with an entire bar on the reservation, and now he must make his way around the spaceship to find his girlfriend and bounce. While the alien ship known as the Sphere is full of odd discoveries, no mystery is greater than a strange discovery players found that doesn't appear to belong to the ship. Back in 2018, Creamy Bacon on my Discord server let me know of a strange discovery they found hiding in the Sphere, as around the edge of the map they found this strange image of a dude holding a lion puppet, which can only be seen when using the shuttle. Does Mr. Rogers have something to do with this? Who this man and his puppet are had players and even the developers of the game stumped, as WaiseHell, my Discord server, found when contacting several developers that they had no idea who the man is, why he's in Prey, and most mysteriously, why he's holding a puppet. But WaiseHell managed to find one of the answers in April 2024 when they found a video on the YouTube channel Ted is the One that appears to be the source of where the photo came from. The video shows the man with his puppet talking about,
"It is definitely on this coming quite fierce, and has taken swipes at certain things, entire countries and nations, entire churches, entire governments."
Not really sure. Unfortunately, none of what he's saying makes any sense, and appears to be mentally ill and rambling about some sort of conspiracy about how he's the Line of Judah and that all appearances of stars are symbols of Satanism. As if this couldn't get any stranger, the oldest uploads to the channel are from 2016, 10 years after Prey's release. How on earth did this image appear in Prey back in 2006? Unless Ted here is actually the one and has the ability to shift through time. Although more likely the videos are just re-uploads, but from where and why? The biggest question, however, remains, especially if Ted is a time traveler. Of all places, why did he end up appearing in this hidden spot in the 2006 game Prey? Definitely one of the stranger video game mysteries I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot. Detroit. Become Human. Thanks to Raven for submitting this mystery through Oddheader.com. Detroit Become Human, released in 2018 for PlayStation and in 2019 for Windows. In the adventure game from writer and director David Cage, players take on the role of 3 different androids in Detroit in 2038. As the game progresses, the androids grow more sentient and rebel against their programming, while humans grow more hostile towards them for taking their jobs. However, players made a discovery that shows androids aren't the only thing they should be worried about. As in 2022, players found an Easter egg by decompiling the game's code. First, players must set the PlayStation's console date to September 18, 2017. Then start the game and enter a variation of the Konami code on the main menu screen in 2.5 seconds or less. Then, by changing the console clock to any other date, entering the code again on the menu screen in less than 2.5 seconds, loading a chapter of the game, and entering the code one last time, your playable android character turns into a pigeon. As you can probably tell, this raises a lot of questions. The most obvious one being, why is this a thing? Especially considering it tends to softlock the game frequently and creates for a number of awkward situations. Secondly, we have no idea what the significance of September 18, 2017 is, and what it has to do with unlocking a hidden pigeon mode that appears to serve no purpose other than breaking the game. And softlocked again. Thief Simulator 2. Thanks to Mcbd for submitting this mystery through Oddheader.com. Thief Simulator 2 released in 2023 on Steam and this month on PlayStation 5, with Xbox and Switch versions coming soon. The game's fun for the whole family as you take on the role of a thief trying to pay off their debt by breaking into houses in an open world environment in an attempt to steal as many valuables as possible. YouTuber It'sReal85 the Goat was playing the game when he noticed what appeared to be a random child sitting in a park, which was unusual considering nothing like this normally happens in the game.
What the hell is this? Hold on, who kid is this? Timmy! We got Timmy up here.
As he approached, the music changed unlike anywhere else in the game.
Why is this mystery music like this? What? Timmy! What? Bro, what's that about?
Investigating it further, the child seems to only appear at night and disappears at 8 in the morning, but otherwise no one knows who the hell this kid is supposed to be or why he appears to be dead. It'sReal85 seems convinced his name was Timmy, but at this point, there's no reason to believe that. NRA Gun Club. Thanks to Logan for submitting this mystery on Oddheader.com. NRA Gun Club is a first-person shooter endorsed by the National Rifle Association of America. The game released in 2006 for PlayStation 2 and has been considered to be the worst game ever released on the console, though calling Gun Club a game is generous, as the player doesn't do anything except fire at some targets in a shooting range, with no game music, little dialogue, and few sound effects. You'd think an association all about promoting gun ownership in America would have released a better shooter, and not outsource the development to a Canadian studio. Despite the game's lack of content, data miners found hundreds of unused audio files in the files of the game, including a song that would have been used on the main menu, nearly 200 cut voice lines, unused sound effects, and possible cut cheat codes, though I'm not sure what cheat codes would do in a game where you hardly do anything. However, Logan Strange's discovery shows that the game's Canadian developers maybe didn't want this game out either, as they also left some colorful language in the data of the game. Among the many swear words Logan found in the files, they found Sony Guy's pipe, which strangely was also found in the data of the MMO plushie game Webkins last year by my friend and collaborator Slippy Slides, and I'm still wondering, what the hell is a Sony Guy's pipe? Also in the data of Gun Club is the word gang $. Sounds about right for the NRA. Why Sony Guy's pipe has now been found in 2 different games, as well as how Gun Club even got published, are currently the biggest video game mysteries keeping me up at night. Team Fortress 2. Thanks to Mario Fan 123 and Gamer Moment for submitting this mystery on the Oddheader website and Discord. Team Fortress 2 released in 2007 from Valve and is one of the most popular video games to this day. Despite its massive player base, there are still some mysteries in the game that have not been solved 17 years after release. One of these mysteries began in 2009, when after an update to the game, a mysterious face texture was found in the files. The texture is a woman's face and appears to have been intended for one of the player characters according to its name file. Yet there are no playable female characters that we know of, though some believe it could have been intended for one character that continues to be an ongoing subject of debate for players. The game's pyromaniac flamethrower character is covered head to toe in this asbestos suit, and their voice is muffled through their mask, so players have long debated whether Pyro could actually be a woman. Valve even appears to have hinted at this on the Team Fortress 2 official blog, writing that Pyro may not be a man or even human, with some updates to the blog referring to Pyro as she before being removed. Guess the developers don't know Pyro's gender either. Another possible hint was found in the Meet the Pyro trailer, as a mini female symbol can be seen in the sky of Pyroland, the colorful fantasy land that Pyro believes they're in, rather than the Team Fortress game world. And like the blog updates referring to Pyro as female, the face texture was quickly removed, meaning I guess we won't know Pyro's true identity until Valve finally figures it out themselves. Cyberpunk 2077. Thanks to Destinydueler and phyvra for submitting this mystery on the Oddheader website and Reddit. Cyberpunk is a game with a number of mysteries, such as the FF06B5 mystery that's appeared throughout the game from the beginning, originally on this statue that we still don't know the meaning of, although a wild goose chase in the Phantom Liberty DLC involving the code unlocked a vehicle, but no explanation about its meaning, despite developers insisting it was solvable since it was found years ago. Yet another mystery begins at the end of the Dream On mission, where they discover a secret organization is brainwashing the politician Jefferson Peralez and his wife in order to make him serve their own nefarious purposes. At the end of the mission, V gets a threatening phone call from an unknown person warning them to never tell anyone about this, and then they have the choice of whether to tell Jefferson the truth. If you catch a look at the balcony in the distance, you discover V and Jefferson are being watched by a mysterious character named Mr. Blue Eyes, appropriately named for his glowing blue eyes. It's unknown why Blue Eyes is spying on V or what his motive is, as he doesn't do anything except stand there and you can't interact with him. Blue Eyes can show up later in the epilogue of one of the game's possible endings, where he's a mystery client who gives you a mission with a large reward in return, although the game concludes before we find out more. Players also caught him in the Phantom Liberty DLC, as for a brief moment he can be seen at the spaceport watching V through a window. There's also a moment where the character Songbird explains an unknown person assisted in getting her a flight to the moon, who she describes as having an expensive suit, dark hair, and blue eyes. While Blue Eyes' appearance is suspicious enough, there's also a ring on his finger that raises even more questions. The ring, which has a strange symbol on it, is also worn by Jefferson, the brainwashed mayor from earlier, the monk surrounding the FF06B5 statue, and Gary the Prophet, a character outside Misty's esoterica. Unfortunately, talking to Gary isn't much help, as he only talks in rambling conspiracy theories, which all focus on a mysterious Alpha Centauri group that controls politicians, saying you can recognize them from their cold blue eyes. Talking to Gary enough times gives us a quest to recover a mysterious data chip from a Jane and John Doe. If the chip is cracked, it reveals a mysterious message, and if you take the capital letter of each sentence, you get Project Oracle Command, Execute Plans, which no one knows the meaning of. Returning to Gary, we find that he's gone, and we're told that he's taken away by agents with glowing blue eyes. Although Gary's ramblings suggest he was kidnapped by Alpha Centauri, glowing eyes can also be the sign of someone using a doll chip, which allows them to control the mind and behavior of another person before wiping their memory, often used by call girls as well as secretive characters speaking through another person, known as proxies, which means Blue Eyes could be working the corners on his night shift, or he's being controlled by another person as a proxy. But by who? A potential clue is in the game files, as data miners found the hair mesh of Blue Eyes is named Morgan Blackhand, Blackhand being the player character of Mike Pondsmith, the creator of the Cyberpunk tabletop RPG the video game is based on, although Blue Eyes doesn't match Blackhand's appearance, and Blackhand isn't known to appear in Cyberpunk 2077. Which begs the question, is Mr. Blue Eyes actually supposed to be Morgan Blackhand, or is he a proxy Blackhand might be communicating through? Who is Mr. Blue Eyes? What happened to Gary the Prophet? And how any of this relates to whatever FF06B5 or Project Oracle is, remain unsolved. I'm starting to think this is all just a way to distract us from the fact that FF06B5 was something they left in as an accident. And thanks again to Asphalt Legends Unite for sponsoring this video. Asphalt Legends Unite is an awesome arcade racer that just released this week for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Android, iOS, PC, Xbox, and Steam, with Nintendo Switch on the way. The game is incredibly smooth and thrilling with its new state-of-the-art lighting system and improved next-gen graphics. One of my favorite kinds of games are the ones where you can smoothly cruise with sleek cars and amazing visuals while jamming to slick beats, and Asphalt Legends Unite fully delivers. With tons of stylish vehicles that look fly as hell whether it's on my 4K TV, my Steam Deck, or my mobile phone. Asphalt Legends Unite also includes multiplayer crossplay where you can play with others no matter which platform they're on, making playing with friends easier than ever. In fact, I'd love to play the game myself with someone else and I encourage anyone to challenge me in the game. Here's my player ID if you think you can take me. And don't forget, it's free to download right now and there's a ton of special rewards. So check out Asphalt Legends today and get in on the action by scanning the QR code or clicking on the links down below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and if you know of any other video game mysteries that you'd like to see me cover, submit through oddheader.com, come join the Discord, or even send me a shout through Twitter or Reddit. And thanks again to Slippy Slides for helping get the footage in this video. Feel free to subscribe to him down below as well. Shout out to Angel the Fox, Ash Photography, Bitwif27, Black Evie50, Chad Biscuits, Eddie Talkspin the Bleach Primid, Flex, Kieran Bolton, The Meatly, Phoenix157, Rackman22, Riley S, Robert Eisenman, Rolkot Mifula, Select, Starcore2, and Terrence Stock for their Patreon support. Stay tuned.